Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
All right, welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. And if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us where you live and what you do for a living.
Yeah, my name is Jody Polishchuk. I live in Victoria, British Columbia on Vancouver Island, and I am the founder and CEO of Sunday's Cookies.
So how did you get the idea for this business?
So I remember it distinctly, clearly, the moment I had just, Magic Spoon had just launched this was like late 2019, I want to say. Magic Spoon had just launched like maybe 6 months before that. And, heard through the grapevine how they were doing, which is quite well. And my brain just went, someone's got to do this for an Oreo. And that was it.
But did you have like a different company before? I guess like what made you kind of want to get into entrepreneurship in general?
I've been an entrepreneur for my whole life. This is my third consumer packaged goods startup. My first one was a cold pressed juice company, had about a decade ago. That was acquired, and then had a business that was ran for about 5 years. It was a single serving chia pudding cup, which then transitioned to a sort of coconut milk yogurt brand called Yuga. And just, over that, it was a 5 year journey of learning what works and what doesn't work in consumer. And it was a great, it was my MBA on how not to run a business, basically. And so if you know how not to do something, then you can reverse engineer how to do something, right?
Yeah, it makes sense. So I guess in terms of your products today, can you just talk more about that? I guess what is your differentiation in the market?
Well, for one, so good question. So, this is a long R&D process. This is 3 years. I talk about it on LinkedIn a bunch. It was a Herculean task to bring this product to market. I really wanted to over deliver on the consumer's expectations of what this product was and really meet the consumers where they, not necessarily where they were, but where they wanted to be, which is where this consumer wants to be, is no sugar alcohols, no weird aftertaste from stevia, no weird texture, no intestinal discomfort from short chain fibers such as inulin, which are, almost or super commonly used in all these products, and just, high, moderate amount of protein. I wouldn't say we have high protein, but we certainly have the highest protein of any sort of BFY sandwich cream on the market. And yeah, so just really wanted to create the true gold standard, no, not low sugar, but no sugar. Didn't want to use plant-based protein because it's just not a really high quality protein. So that's why we use whey, and, just really wanted to get as close to that Oreo experience as possible, because when you're reinventing such an iconic food, the thing that you have going for you is the same thing that you have going against you, which is that consumers have a very specific expectation of what this cookie is supposed to taste like, and that expectation is embedded in their memory from a child.
For sure. So I guess for you, right, who would you say is an ideal customer for your products?
We've discovered so if you would ask me about a year ago, I would say, well, who likes Oreos and who wants to eat less sugar, right? That's a very broad stroke. So now I would say we have really strong product market fit in the type 1 diabetic population. So a lot of our customers are families who have T1D, either kids or adults. We have a strong, really sticky product market fit in the keto population, generally low carb, low sugar. And then because of our protein content, we have a fitness consumer that we've identified as well.
For sure. So in terms of your product, where do most people find your products? Are you mostly in retail, e-commerce, Amazon? What does that look like?
You can find them on our website at eatsundays.com, and they're also primarily on Amazon, and we are distributed throughout Foxtrot chain wide. That's 32 stores now, and we're starting to develop distribution in New York City. So we're in about 50 stores in the city right now, and that's growing weekly.
So in terms of your 2024 vision, are you focused more on the retail side, getting into more stores or ramping up your D2C? What are you really focused on for this year?
We're definitely focused on scaling Amazon, which is happening now. And we are looking at building out relationships with a couple key anchor retailers and just really going really deep with them, creating a really strong velocity and data story with those retailers. Yeah, I'm not gonna say who they are yet, but like they're, not huge chains, but not small chains either, kind of like 150 store chains on the East Coast.
For sure. So I guess like in terms of Amazon, like I guess like why Amazon as opposed to focus on directly selling from your website?
Well, this Amazon's where the customers are, right? The customers are not on our website. They're already on Amazon. They're already looking for these types of products. So it's like once we did test Meta. We're not really going to spend at all on Meta. I don't think over the life of this business, I don't want to say no, but like
Right.
we have no immediate plans to go back into spending money on Facebook at all. It's wildly inefficient and kind of like this lazy way to build a brand, to be totally honest with you. Like as soon as you turn it off, it goes to zero. Right. And whereas with Amazon, there's this really beautiful halo effect that happens. And in addition, the purchase intent and the quality of the customer is just like astronomically higher, right? It's like with Facebook, it's like, your mom scrolling Instagram, right? She's not there to buy. And so with Amazon, it's completely different.
For sure. So in terms of like Amazon, like how do you get customers or even just in general, right? Like for somebody that wants to try the product, are you focused on certain positioning or like, position more towards like diabetics? Like what do you do to actually like, I guess, scale your sales on Amazon?
Well, the formula that we found that works really well for us. So we index in a lot of categories that have really high search volume. So we have a rock star Amazon team. And so we've really been very disciplined in just really driving clicks for high traffic keywords. And that, our listing at the end of the day, you have to have a high converting listing, right? So we really optimize our listing. We have a really unique value proposition. We have value proposition of a zero sugar Oreo that's driving a lot of trial. We have an incredible brand. And so that has helped to optimize our listing. It's kind of like, the shiny lure catches the fish, right? And so as a result of all that, to speak to the aforementioned sort of halo effect on Amazon, we're organically ranking higher now in these categories that have really high search volume, and so that's really driving a lot of clicks for us.
For sure. So I guess like when you're out and about, do you do like source sampling? Like how do you get more people to actually try and find out about your products?
So it's really a function of, we run ads on Amazon. We have
Right.
sponsored listings, and that drives a certain amount of trial. And then we have a lot of repeat. I mean, the repeat is really driving a lot of growth for us. So we have really strong and very frothy repeat on Amazon right now. And so that in and of itself is driving a lot of revenue for us. And then those repeat buys and those branded search buys and the combination of all of the organic sales and then the PPC sales boosts our ranking. And so then, we're like on the first, depending on the day, this changes by day, but we're on the first page of keto cookies and protein cookies most days. And so to answer your question, we don't do anything because people are just finding the product because the search volume for those categories is so high.
For sure. So in terms of your business now, what would you say like some of your biggest challenges?
Growth capital. That's it. Right now, honestly, that's it. There's really only one challenge for us right now. That's accessing growth capital, which obviously in this market as a, early stage consumer brand is not easy.
Right. Like, are you focused on raising money for 2024?
Yeah.
Awesome. So obviously now in 2024, many companies use things like AI in their business. So do you guys use things like AI? And if not, where can AI come in and add value?
We do not use AI, and I have no idea where AI could come in and add value. It's not something that I think about.
Makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I always think about like many brands use it like, for ad copy or chatting or customer service, things like that. So I was curious if that's something that you even explored.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna, once our like direct to consumer search volume order volume is such that it requires like a dedicated customer service lead, like we'll definitely bring on Sienna, which is, they're like AI based. We don't need that right now. And frankly, I like staying close to our customers
For sure.
at this point in the business. But no, I mean, we're like really just kind of doing it the old fashioned way, man. Just like building a brand slowly and for longevity, and not really thinking about taking many shortcuts right now.
So what would you say is like the one biggest piece of advice that you wish you knew? I mean, I guess before you even started as an entrepreneur and even before you started this brand specifically.
One thing I wish I knew, well, I'm glad I didn't know how hard it was, because I probably wouldn't have started it. So probably not that. Like and just like this is a sort of stale piece of advice because it's the one that you hear everywhere, but like you're gonna need way more money than you think you will. So make sure you have enough money in the bank to really like give it a go.
Yeah, I
Which
mean,
is
I
easier
think,
said than done, because it's like it's not like you can just snap your fingers and make that happen, right?
yeah, I mean, especially in the CPG space, like, you're making a product and there's a lot of, ingredients and a lot of components that go into making a good, especially if your product is a good, high quality product, it's good, high quality, but it's, costs more to make. So that's just how it works.
Yeah, and like so there's just, there's a lot of working capital needs involved. And for anybody listening, if you're thinking of going into consumer with the food product, right now the bar for innovation is high, and it needs to be, because gone are the days where you're going to win with just sprinkling some protein powder on some popcorn. Like that's over. So if you're planning on building a business with that product, good luck.
That's
And
so true.
unless you just have like an infinite amount of capital to like market it into infinity, right? Which most people don't have that. So true innovation is what is going to win now and in the future. And by true innovation, I mean you've developed something that didn't exist. And by virtue of doing so, you've solved a problem for your customers. If you think about it, it's very rare to have a food product truly solve a problem in the way that like a tech products are designed to solve problems, right?
Right.
Food products are not, right? And so, but when you have that intersection of like, you have a food product that tastes good and you're really there's an unmet need in the market that your product is able to solve for, that's when you really have a win.
For sure. So if we're going to have this conversation again in 1 year from now, where do you see things going for your business?
I don't know, man. I don't have a crystal ball, but we're growing really fast right now. So, I would like to think in a year from now, like we'll have validated and established strong data and velocity story in retail in these retailers I was mentioning, and then we'll be bringing that data story to the rest of market in 25 and 26, and really going wide at that point.
Awesome. And we're rooting for you guys. So if somebody watching this wanted to reach out, do you mind sharing your website or social media? I guess best ways to get in contact.
Yeah, eatsundays.com. I'm on LinkedIn, Jody Polishchuk. And yeah, those are the ways.
So Jody, thank you so much for your time today. Of
Thanks, Dan. I really appreciate it.
course, thank you. All right, bye.